Okay.
Thank you. So it's good to see everybody on board this afternoon. Today is Tuesday, the 10th of June, 2025. We're having our pre-New York session analysis. Now, today, we don't have any tradable fundamental event this afternoon. The only one that was available was in the morning, and that was the GBP average earning index and claimant count change. Now, the next event will come up later tonight by 9 p.m., and that is a speech from President Donald Trump of the United States. So between then and now, it's possible the market might, range. I said it in the morning, we may have some ranging session today because we don't have trading fundamental. Now, this is what happens in the forex market. The fundamental actually is what pushes the market, is what drives the market. So whenever there is no fundamental, tradable fundamental event, the market may just be quiet or otherwise may enter into a range. So we may experience some ranging session this afternoon. So trade with a lot of caution. So with that being said, please, I would advise if you're a day trader, if you can exit the market as at the time Donald Trump will give a speech in the night, it may be a good idea because you don't know where the market will go when he makes that speech. So you don't want to get caught in any movement that may be erratic or volatile. So let's go back to the chart to see what is tradable this afternoon session. I have two pairs I'm looking at, and they are closely related. They are positively correlated, and that is the AUD JPY and the New Zealand JPY. And I need to clear all this so that it becomes easier for some of us to understand what I'm looking at. So this is the AUD JPY on the daily time frame. If we draw a trend line from this point downwards, you can see that the trend line is clearly touching today's candle, today's daily candle. And you can see that today's candle is forming what looks a lot like a rejection candle. Yeah, the day is just to be over, so anything can really happen. But I'm telling you what I'm seeing at the moment. So if you flip down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we have a kind of a reversal candlestick pattern here, though a sharp retracement took place after that. It was supposed to have been a tweezer top, but then we have a long candle. But notwithstanding, the upper part is still red, which shows some bearish tendency. So with price touching the trend line on the daily time frame and what we're seeing on the 4-hour, we're expecting a downward movement on this instrument. I'll still flip it down to 1-hour time frame so that I can get a clearer view. Now, this is what is happening on the 1-hour. From what I'm seeing, we're having what looks like a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and the next wave of movement should be a bearish one. So I'll go further by drawing my trend line and a second trend line at the back to give a perfect looking rising wedge pattern. So we're bearish on the AUD JPY this afternoon session. So what we're going to be looking out for is that price breaks out below the recent low, which we may take as a neckline, or let's just call it the recent low, not whether it's neckline or not really mandatory at this point. We have a low there that price must break out below for us to see that massive breakout we are anticipating on the AUD JPY. So let's put our attention closely on this instrument this afternoon session. So we're bearish on the AUD JPY. Like I said, the other one is very, very closely related to it, very positively related, and that's the New Zealand JPY. So whichever one triggers first is the one we will hold, or is the one we will trade out of the two of them. But the New Zealand JPY is still the same. Okay, slightly different. This one, the trend line is not touching like the AUD JPY. It's not really completing the downtrend. But what we have here is a resistance. We have a resistance level on the daily time frame. Price is trading on the resistance level. So we'll take it down to 4 hour and 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour, just like what we saw on the AUD JPY, we're seeing a head and shoulder, and we expect a downward breakout also. So we can draw our trend line and a second trend line, and we'll have a perfect looking rising wedge, confirming this confluence that we're seeing. So for this one also, we'll be waiting for price to break out below the recent low. So whenever price breaks out below the trend line and a new candle opens below this support zone, then we can safely trigger a sell on the New Zealand JPY. Let's not forget our final confirmation of RSI must be clearly below 50 at the point of entry. So these are the two instruments I'm seeing a possible trading opportunity around this afternoon session. So watch them very, very closely. I'll bring you an update now on some analysis I gave yesterday. If you joined the analysis, the weekly analysis for yesterday, I analyzed the BTC and I said I expected a bullish breakout of BTC for this week. And it has already happened. As at when we had the analysis yesterday, BTC was trading around this region. And I said I was seeing an inverse head and shoulder pattern on BTC USD. After the analysis yesterday, BTC went. I said the first point of call is that BTC will trade within this resistance zone. Then if it breaks above it, it will chop the resistance upwards from where you should expect further bullish breakout. So the first phase of the movement on BTC is already complete. Price moved after the analysis yesterday from about $106,000 per BTC, went as high as the next level, which is went as high from $106,000 per BTC to about $110,000 per BTC, just within yesterday and today. So the first wave of movement is complete. Also yesterday, somebody was asking a question about GBP card, and I remember clearly saying, you can go and watch the video yesterday as a confirmation to this. I remember clearly saying that I hold, regardless of what I was seeing in the market, that I hold a bearish outlook on GBP card. Even though it looked as if it was trying to be bullish, I said worst case scenario is that price will touch the resistance and still revert downwards. But then you can see that it has reversed downwards. So whoever that person was, I hope you took a sell trade on GBP card because it turned out to be very good setup in line with the analysis of yesterday. All right, that'll be all from this session. Don't forget, we're looking at AUD JPY and New Zealand JPY, and we're bearish on both on 1 hour for this afternoon session. So that is going to be all. Any question as we round up? Okay, in the absence of any question, that's going to be all this afternoon.
Sorry, sir.
Yes,
I don't know if you can highlight a dollar. Can you highlight your dollar, please, sir?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, like I said yesterday, we hold a bullish outlook on the dollar, but I remember telling us that due to low volatility, we may see some selling pressure first before the market goes into that bullish direction. And that is what seems to be happening at the moment on the dollar. And if you go down to the 4-hour time frame, the major move is still going to be bullish, but because the volatility has been poor since yesterday, the breakout is yet to happen. But I'm still hopeful for a break later on. So all I'm saying is that at the moment, even though we're bearish on the dollar, because of what we're seeing, the dollar is still not, sorry, we're bullish rather, the dollar is still not buying. So trade it with a lot of caution. Don't go against the trend. Like I always say that the trend is your friend. Just hold on to the trend. So that's why I propose to stay out of the dollar since it's not going our direction yet.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm grateful.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What about gold? What do you see on Euro USD, USD JPY, DJ30? All right, let me attend to all these requests. Two people are asking about gold, so let's look at gold. Now, I remember clearly telling us yesterday, gold also went in line with our analysis yesterday. If you remember, I said on gold, I was seeing a bullish trend, even though it's going to be short term. And I said that was going to be the formation of an inverse head and shoulder. That happened on gold, giving rise to some slight bullish movement. But currently, this is what is happening on gold. Gold is trading at a critical level. On the daily time frame, we still have that uptrend outlook. However, on the 1 hour, price is trading around a support termed resistance. And the current 1 hour candle is a rejection candle. Now we have to trade with a lot of caution around gold at this point. If the next 1 hour candle closes, this current 1 hour candle closes with this rejection candle, there's a likelihood of a reversal. Otherwise, if price breaks out above this level, then we're looking for a bullish movement. So at the moment, it's neither buying or selling. We need to wait till the end of this 1 hour candle to see the next move of gold. Again, if it closes with this current rejection candle, we will see some bearish movement. But if not, if price breaks above that current level, then it will be a bullish movement on gold. So we are just staying out at the moment till there's clarity. Euro USD and the USD JPY. Euro USD is ranging. USD JPY might be going bearish, and this is 4 hour, so it might give some appreciable movement, but still trade with caution because the overall outlook of dollar series remains bullish. So if you want to sell USD JPY, then do it with a lot of caution. Now for USD JPY on the daily time frame, we can see we have a downward trend line and a resistance. We have a resistance zone on the daily time frame. The current daily candle is looking like a rejection candle, but the day is not yet over. And if we switch over to the 4 hour time frame, you can see what is looking like possible formation of a double top pattern. So if price is able to break out, if you take it to 1 hour too, it will still be close to that. So let's go to 1 hour. It's still very close to that. If you want to trade USD JPY as a bearish or a sell trade, you need to wait for a new candle to open below this level. This is forming a double top. A double top is like letter M. So a new candle needs to break out below that support zone for us to look for a bearish trade on the USD JPY if you want to trade it at all. Except if you want to take a short-term trade on this one, but I will advise to be very, very cautious on this, because this, if you look critically at this, it's forming a head and shoulder. If it breaks that trend line, you may just take a little short run, to that support zone. That's possible. But again, please trade it with a lot of caution. That can give about an average of like 25 pips. If that can be too fast for you, then wait for the clear breakout downwards. GBP AUD and DJ30. So I'll look at that briefly. For GBP AUD, price needs to hit this trend line before we can decide on the next move. So for now, there's nothing to do until price hits this support, which is our trend line, before we may look for a bounce. This is DJ30. On the daily time frame, price has been hanging around this resistance level or resistance zone. And you can see it's been in a range in the last, at least since yesterday. We've seen a range around this area. Price has been stuck multiple times around this resistance level. All right, so we have a trend line there and a minor support here also. You can look at taking a sell on this DJ30. Just a second. All right, so if price breaks out below the trend line and the support zone downwards, we may have some bearish movement on DJ30. So we hold a bearish outlook on DJ30. Euro USD, I said, is ranging. Euro USD is ranging. I already said that. You can see it's in a range at this region. It's ranging at the moment. It's ranging.
I don't know if you said anything about GBP USD.
No, I've not.
Please, can you help us, sir?
Okay, so this is GBP USD.
Thank you very much, sir. Grateful.
All right, so this is GBP USD. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price, there's a kind of a rising wedge pattern, and price already broke it downwards. Price broke the support zone also, but currently price is retesting. Price is retesting that support as a resistance. So if price doesn't go back much, then we should expect possibly a continuation in the bearish direction. If I take it down to 1 hour, it looks a little clearer. You can see price broke the support and retesting it. So we may expect a further bearish movement. But to be safe on this kind of setup, the best thing I would advise is, if you ever want to trade this, you may only look at taking the sell if price breaks below this low, this recent low where I put the line. If a new candle opens below that level, then yes, you can take a sell. Otherwise, just watch as price, the market evolves rather.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I think I've attended to all the requests here. That'll be all for now. Do trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Have a good day, sir.
You too.